Hey Doug, how's it going?
Good.
Uh, Doug, can you? I don't know how much film you've been able to see, but how did Darnell do at safety yesterday? And if everybody stays healthy, is he going to be even more valuable given the number of positions he can play?
I think first of all, he played well. He played really well. He did some great things, great communication. So yeah, that was definitely a positive. Antonio, played more of the dime position, and Jari in the nickel. So it was a good change up for us yesterday. As far as moving forward, I could foresee that being the case. You got to remember too, we got Andrew Wingard still sitting there, potentially, coming back in the next, few weeks. So that could also shake some things up again. So, but as of right now, that was a good move for us yesterday.
Yeah. And also, when you're facing a team you used to play for, and you've had some experience in this, obviously, do NFL players, even if there is any emotion involved, do they once the game kicks off, is it just another team that you have to beat?
100%, 100%. I think during the week, you make more of it. Maybe Mac Jones last week talked to some of his buddies in New England, and vice versa. So, I think that's during the week. But once you tee it up and kick it off, it's definitely a game, and you focus on your job.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
E-Rock followed by Mia.
Hey Doug, just to get some injury and some other stuff out of the way. Cam, concussion protocol, is that
Yes.
okay? And can you give us an update on status with Foye and Dewey in terms of when they may be able to come off and open
Yeah.
up?
I'll tell you this: both guys were in London with us. Both guys, rehabbed and worked out, separate from the team, obviously. But both guys are in a really good place, and we're optimistic and hopeful that maybe this is the week that we can open their window up and they can practice and get back with the team. So, definitely something to look forward to. Both guys are in a good place, and obviously if we make that decision, it would be later in the week.
Do you have any more clarity on the Tashawn Gibson situation at this point? Why he wasn't cleared? And
Mike, I don't. I honestly do not. I mean, it's a league decision right now. It's in their hands as far as the being released, from the suspension. So, um, honestly, until we hear further, that's where it's at right now.
I've got one more on Trevor. First part of 2022, he was not good. Got hot. Second part of 2022, hot. The first part of 23, maybe wasn't playing his best football the first part of this season. The last 3 weeks, he's been really, really good. Is he just a streaky guy? And are there quarterbacks that are just streaky quarterbacks?
Well, it's an interesting question. You know, let's hope he's streaky and he gets on a streak, right? I mean, that's what we all hope for. I think too, he's continuing to grow, with what we're doing and learning. You understand it's only his third year, in this system and playing this position. So, um, he he's done a great job for us. And like I said, I hope if this is him getting on a streak, let's keep it going and let's stay with the hot hand.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hey Doug, curious what you thought of Walker Little's performance yesterday.
You know what? I thought he did a good job. Obviously, about the fourth or fifth play, he has to come in, into the game and play from there. Walker's a pro. That's what I like about him. He comes to work every day, he prepares like a starter, and he's always ready. And you never know. We're blessed to have, three, four. If you look at Cole Van Lannon and the way he played in preseason, Javon Foster, but we're blessed to have more than two, or in this case three tackles. But he did great. He did a good job, and something that we'll see how Cam does. But if we had to, go into this game with him at left tackle, we're obviously more than comfortable doing that, and got a lot of confidence in him, and he'll be ready to go either way.
The offensive line in particular has had a lot of success over the last 3-4 weeks, and Trevor's numbers I think kind of play a hand in that as well. What has it been these last 3 or 4 weeks that has really clicked for them?
I think, Mia, what you're seeing is these guys have now logged a lot of time together, and there's some continuity there, and I mean, if you just go back to last year and all the different line combinations we had each week, it's difficult. It's hard, and it's hard to get consistency. And I think that's what you're seeing. I think you're seeing the consistency up front. We've scaled back on the amount of run scheme, keeping it simple for those guys. Keep it to where we can call the same plays multiple times in games, and so it's been good. It's been good for them, and it gives them a lot of confidence too, knowing they can go out and knowing exactly what's going to happen, and just go execute. So it's been good that we've had the 5 guys together, up until yesterday.
Thank you.
John Shipley, followed by Travis Holmes.
Hey Doug, thanks for doing this. It seemed like Eric played a little bit more inside yesterday. Just how would you evaluate his performance? And does it seem like he's kind of coming on after having to sit out most of training camp and whatnot?
I do. I do think he's getting his, kind of his game legs. I think he's a really good, interior D lineman. That's where he's made the bulk of his success is coming from inside, right? As a 3 technique, especially in nickel pass down situations. And he showed that yesterday. He did a nice job on the guard. He's got had one of the higher pressure rates, yesterday. So he's doing a good job, and we keep working with him outside too. It's a little bit new position for him on the outside, particularly in 1st and 2nd down situations. But he's a veteran player that we count on and we rely on, and he's been great too for Josh and Trayvon and Miles Cole, some of the younger players as well. Teaching them just what it takes to be a pro.
I know I've asked you a few times this year about Trayvon and the steps he's taking. Does it seem like he's at the point where now he's kind of reached a new standard for him and he's just kind of getting better with each game?
Yes. Short answer is yes. He definitely improves each week. He's learning different moves, pass rush moves. He's got, so you're seeing the power, you're seeing the length. And now really for the whole D line, now we've got to just finish better, just strain a little bit better, and we get a few more sacks, right? So but Trayvon's in a good place. He works at it during the week, and it shows up on game day.
Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
I think
And
this is our last one, Travis Holmes.
Afternoon, Coach. Now that you've had the chance to, take a look at the tape, on your travels back, how would you grade or how would you evaluate the play of the secondary in this past game?
You know what? It was good. It was good. I know there were some big plays that, big pass plays, but again, it had nothing to do with the scheme, had nothing to do. It's just New England making plays. They caught us in the right, I guess, in the wrong coverage, but the right play against the right defense for them. But I thought overall they played physical, they played aggressive. I thought the addition of Tyson back yesterday was huge. He almost had a big turnover there, interception late in the game, or I should say probably in the third. That would have been the third quarter, I think it was. So these guys are beginning to gel. They're beginning to see the big picture, I think, as they prepare. Buster, Monteric keeps getting better and improving, and it was good to again, to be able to allow Darby the rest during the game and the rotation there. So other than a couple of big plays that look, it's the NFL. They're going to make their plays too. Other than that, I thought the secondary played really well.
And you did speak on the rotation within the cornerback group. I think that might have been one of the biggest the biggest frequency of rotations we've seen with the cornerback class. Jarian Jones had 75% snap count this week. Was that a plan going into the week, like just from something you guys saw within New England, or?
Well, a lot of times, we're a match personnel team. So you're gonna when they're in 11 personnel, we're gonna go nickel. And then obviously the plan yesterday was Jarian at the nickel, and Sab was gonna play the safety spot. So that was just by design, it was by game plan. And then when we go dime personnel, Antonio comes in the game. So a lot of it's just by scheme. How Coach Ryan puts the game plan together each week. And that's why you probably saw more numbers, by Jarian, just because they were more 11 personnel offensively.